Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
What's a Blerd? That's a black guy who's also a nerd. Reading comics, watching anime. Haven't you heard? It's Jeremy J and Miriam talking to Delirium. Naruto, then Marvel, then DC. Are you hearing him? Pop culture reference pull them out periodically. We sync up movies with the comics canonically, and we watch a lot of TV. It's our virtual reality. I guarantee one day we'll have a TV show on NBC.
Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
What's up, survivalists?
What's up, survivalists?
Back at it again.
Back after a week off.
Yes, these are your co-hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Jay.
And welcome back to a new episode of Blerd Survival Guide. We just came back from our Austin, Texas trip. Jay, how do you think that trip went?
All right, so if I had to rate Austin, Texas as a city, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay.
If I want to rate our trip as a whole, solid 9 out of 10.
Okay.
If I had to rate our Airbnb host, solid 1 out of 10, because she left us wanting so much more. I'm not going to talk too much about her because that's a negative side of the trip. The positive sides of the trip, though, are to come. But she really irked me in so many ways, starting from
Night one,
man. I mean, we came in, we got in around 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. and then she showed up around midnight, 12:30, after we had been in the car for over 12 hours.
I mean, we finally
rested. And then she
rested.
just comes in with all of these unlisted rules that were not listed in the Airbnb. For instance, we couldn't use her water. We had to buy our own bottled water.
Specifically, we couldn't use the tap water because she was afraid of the fluoride. But like Jay said, we're not going to get on it because that was the only negative side of our trip. I do want to let you know, Jay, that I did leave the review on Airbnb.
Good.
And that's that.
That's all that needs to be said.
That is all that needs to be said. Other than that, yes, our trip was fantastic. If I had to rate it, Austin, Texas, I would say 8.5 out of 10.
All right.
Only because I was able to meet my dad after a solid 15 years of being separated. The trip itself, I would say 9.5. We were drama-free the whole time. And yes, like you said, our Airbnb, I'm putting in the -3 because we had uncomfortable beds and it stayed cold the whole time, or it wasn't cold.
It was uncomfortable. It was either too cold or too hot. It was damp in my room. I don't know about Jeremy's room, but I had a complaint every night.
That was weird. It was weird because his room was damp, my room was cold. But like we said, we digress. We're not going to stick on that part of the trip anymore. This entire podcast, we are just so excited to be back with you guys. We are going to talk about Austin this week, what we got to see, what we experienced. Also, if you skipped the intro, I need you to go back and listen to the intro again because we have a new theme song that we produced, we sang, and my dad helped us create. Took us all of a couple of hours in his studio. It was a few
hours in the studio, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a grind session.
It was a grind session, and we knocked it on out. We plan on making more music soon, and we, well, at least I am myself. I don't know about Jay here, but we do continue. We will continue this podcast. We want you to just listen to the song, and you're going to hear it every week. Get it stuck in your heads. It's just two guys, one mic, and a producer.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide, man.
Yeah, it's the Blerd Survival Guide. So again, welcome to our podcast. Welcome back. We are back from a week on break. We are excited to have all of you listening to us again, and here we go. So, start of the trip, we really went for my birthday, but as well as our producer Miriam's. She's unfortunately not with us tonight. She's a little under the weather.
She is.
Yeah, so
feel better, Miriam.
Everyone send her a shout out, and we will definitely let her know. But we went as a I want to call it a group trip in celebration of our birthdays, even though I was the one who planned most of it.
No doubt.
So it's kind of like a small birthday gift to Miriam as well.
Sure.
To provide her a trip, and we just all got to relax and hang out.
I mean, I got to take a week off. Jeremy got to take a week off. Miriam was on break for a week because she was on spring break. John got to take a week off, and we all got to we had never taken a trip like that before.
Not with all of our friends, and we were missing a couple of our other friends, Mary and Kat. I do apologize again. We've been talking about it. Y'all know you guys were a little salty that you couldn't make it, but trust me, when we get to these bigger and better trips, y'all are definitely on the list.
No doubt. I mean, we took the trip for a lot of reasons, and I think that talking about it is going to be a lot of fun. So, Jeremy, my first question to you is, what was your favorite part of the trip?
Woo! Favorite part of the trip? I honestly would say when I got to meet my younger siblings for the first time. I've only heard them over the phone when I would talk to my dad, but the only one I had actually met was my youngest sibling, Olivia, and that's when she was a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everyone else, KJ, Lily, and Layla,
right?
They hadn't been born when my dad moved to Texas, so I got to meet them for the first time.
Wow. I mean, it was really cool to get to see you interact with your new siblings because much like your dad, there's a lot of familial similarities that even despite you not being raised by your dad, were apparent throughout. The interactions that I just observed with you, between me and your dad, between me and your siblings, between you and your siblings, between Miriam and everybody. I think that it's a really cool thing to observe, especially when you talk about like nature versus nurture, and
definitely
like how your development is hinged upon the genetic foundation that it starts on, right?
And that was one of the funniest things too. It's like the first night after everyone had gotten to meet my dad, because we're still in quarantine, we're still in pandemic, so we had to stay safe.
Right.
But everyone got to meet my dad as well, and they're noticing as I'm having a conversation with my dad, or as we're all having a conversation, we get back in the car, we get back to the Airbnb, and all of them look at me and was just like, Jeremy, that's an older version of you.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. They said we had the same laugh. We had the same
mannerisms.
And the thing is, when we came back and visited him on Friday to record the song, while we were talking to my dad, and I don't know if you noticed, but I was like, when you were talking to him and like both he and I were standing, I was noticing we were standing the same way.
The same posture.
We have the same posture. We sat down the same way. We even laughed the same way, and like I said, I haven't seen this.
And
man
those are things
in
that I guess you
years.
can't really teach. I don't really have as much. Like you, I haven't had much of a relationship with my dad. But whenever people talk to me about my father and how we're alike, they talk to me about how we stand and walk the same.
Exactly,
and it's something that's really bizarre to me. But I observed it with you. I was like, wow, So it's very possible that it's very similar for me in that way.
I'm pretty sure, if I do meet you, like, interacting with your dad, I will point out every similarity that you guys have like you did me.
Right.
It will be a laugh riot because we all know that we love each other. We like to rag on each other.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it was really cool because I've known you for so long.
Exactly.
Where those things come from, because I've known you and your mom for a long time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I've gotten to see y'all interact. I've gotten to see how y'all work together as a unit.
Yeah.
But it was just but there's definitely things that she does that you don't do.
Right. No, that's really because she taught me how to be a certain way. Because yes, she is a single mother. She's taught me how to be a successful black man.
No doubt.
Throughout my life. But like you said, when you did see me and my dad, we haven't even seen each other. We haven't had a conversation longer than 5 minutes, other than over the phone.
Right.
You could just see
there was a vibe.
Yeah, that was it.
Which is great because to not have like really seen or talked or spent very much time in the same room with someone for that long, and there's still to be a positive interaction and like an overtly positive interaction. It was very apparent in the studio that everyone was happy to be there. There wasn't much awkwardness at all. I don't think, or any awkwardness, period.
Nah, I would say the only, and not to rag on my little brother, but yeah, that was probably the only awkwardness because he's a teenager. He is a teenager, and yeah, y'all keep telling me that, but like
You want, yeah.
You saw the positiveness between like me and my sisters and my dad, and then you just got he's the introvert. And my dad
what's really interesting is Matisse. Matisse. I say that I was gonna say KJ kind of reminds me a little bit of your little sister Matisse.
Yeah. Now that I mean, yeah. That's really all you can say.
But I mean, I guess because he's your little brother, you had a thought.
Because I mean,
you had an expectation.
His name is KJ. His name is Kevin Jr. So I was not expecting a clone of my father, but
I mean, you would
kind of think. Yeah, and apparently, I got the clone-ness part of my dad.
Well, who knows? Maybe your dad was an angsty teen. You know,
my mom knows, and no, he wasn't.
Oh,
apparently, my dad. Essentially, I am my dad.
Yeah.
How you knew me in high school? That's how my dad was in high school.
You bring the positivity, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do.
And that's really how it goes. Like,
and then that's how it played out. I mean,
I'm pretty sure I'm almost a carbon copy. The thing is, I look like my mom on the outside. I look like my dad on the inside. Apparently, that's how it's flowing. And like how you've seen me, how you've known me since high school, since literally the longest we've known each other. Mm-hmm. That's how my dad was, and that's how my mom knew my dad. And
crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, it's me, but in my son. Which is also kind of weird because I'm taller than both my mom and my dad, and apparently I'm a skyscraper amongst people.
The Scotts and the Steels.
Yeah,
interestingly enough.
Well, apparently it skips generations in my family. I did not know. Well,
that's right. You said your grandfather was.
It's my granddad on my dad's side, actually, not my mom's side. Yeah. He was 6'2", 6'3". Yeah, so had it been like a true generational, not generational, but like true habitual thing, it would have gone.
Yeah,
like. My granddad 6'2", my dad probably wouldn't have been around that height too, and then I would
presumably. You'd be about my height.
Yeah. I mean, I almost am. We're the two tallest in our friend group.
We are. I always
say giants among us men.
Oh my gosh, no! I'm far from a giant. I'm 6'2" on a good day, 6'1" without chacos.
'Tis a giant.
What you want? But yeah, I mean, it was really great to observe you, and I mean, I'm happy to know that was the best part about it for you because you know that's though. I know how much you were like stressing about it a little bit. You had a little bit of anxiety, which is to be expected.
It is. I mean, when you don't see a family member for a long time,
I can relate. You know, I had that similar experience like back in 2019 when I met my dad's side of the family for the very first time after I had turned 26. It was very bizarre. I mean, but like the similarities were very apparent to me, and I was like, "Wow, it's great to know where I get all this from."
Where you got your personality? Well, I mean, you also get your personality from your granddad. And I mean, like,
I am, and I'm an old man in that way. But like, you know, there's definite the
Jay's secretly an old man. We just don't want to talk about it.
I mean, we can talk about it. But I guess so. Like back on the topic of the Austin trip. I mean, yeah, it was great to see you in that environment.
Yeah,
and I guess, and I think my favorite part.
I was just about to ask, what was Jay Williams' favorite part of the Austin trip?
My favorite part.
Before you say that, I did also get a hat, which I am wearing.
He had himself an authentic cowboy hat from Texas.
Cowboy hat, and I'm excited. I looked like Will Smith out of the Wild Wild West video, which I'm still disappointed. We never got to play that in the car or any time when we were in Austin, Texas. Will Smith, sponsor us.
Played it.
Now, again, what was your favorite part of the Austin trip, Jay?
I know my favorite part of Austin was.
Let me know.
The tacos.
Oh my God, guys! If you knew how many tacos,
I was a taco fiend.
This man ate.
I wanted to.
Starting on Sunday night, this man had
tacos.
8 tacos. They were mini tacos. I'll give him that. But he had 8 mini tacos from a taco truck. That was the start of our trip.
Shout out to Taqueria El Tapatio in Austin, Texas, or out in Elgin, Texas, outside of Austin.
Yeah,
man, this place had it all.
It did because they had some bomb quesadillas. But also, we went Sunday night. We went Monday on my actual birthday. I went back to the same.
We went back
place.
to it that night.
I didn't go because I was a little under the weather. The scientist punched me in the face on my birthday, but it was okay.
That's a fact. Not to mention, we were a little bit turned.
We were. That was, oh man, you still miss when John fell. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a story for another time.
Long story short, we played Twister, and one of our friends busted their butt in a hilarious fashion that I missed out on because I went and put a onesie on.
He did,
but because I was trying to be a character, and then John being John, who he is, and his clumsiness Went
Which is weird because he is a 4th degree black belt.
whole ninja.
A whole ninja.
A whole ninja, but the boy is so clumsy. And he just busted his butt on the TikTok on the
what's the name of that game?
on the Twister mat.
Thank you.
And everyone busted out laughing, and I just came in just
confused.
so confused. But yeah, man. So we ate tacos everywhere. Everywhere we went, the tacos were great, and I had it noted down because a colleague of mine was like, "Hey Jay, one of the things that you have to do is just get the tacos because they're so much better because they're so much closer to the border."
And boy, oh boy, did Jay make it his mission to find every type of taco joint that wasn't a franchise or fast food joint. It was a taco truck.
Authenticity
it was
matters.
A building.
And I needed to support brown business.
You are right, because every cashier was of Latinx descent.
No fact. That's a fact.
It was amazing. Those tacos were amazing. The service was amazing. We had a mama that helped us out when she cleaned up our food and gave us like hard plates. We were sitting outside. It was at that place
at a taco truck.
It was a taco
in
truck,
the
but it was
middle of a car insurance lot and a car rental place. There was a taco truck that we just happened upon because we were driving into Austin. And I was like, "Ooh, 3 o'clock taco time, of course."
Basically.
And so I turned into it, and I'm like, "We have to get tacos here." And it was a Latino mom. Like, for real, she was like an auntie, a tia, and she set us right. We had some friends that got some tortas. I got some tacos. Jeremy got his quesadillas.
I'm a quesadilla boy. I don't need to know that.
He will try a quesadilla anywhere.
What are my 2 favorite sides, Jay?
Butter and sour cream.
You already know.
Facts.
Butter and sour cream. They need to nickname me that or give me that on a menu item or something. I don't even know.
You just need to get the Jeremy special, and that comes with extra butter and extra sour cream.
All day, baby. but no, that like the tia that we found, she gave us ceramic plates with the food. It was cooked. She was the only one working this joint.
She had us right, man. She had us cooked up and ready to go.
I think those were by far the best tacos from that whole week, because of the service.
The service was great. I'm still Taqueria was my favorite.
True.
But
Yeah, we went back. We went to Taqueria 3 times that whole week, and that's saying something when it comes to the tacos in Austin, Texas.
It was 20 minutes away too.
You're right.
The coolest experience, though, I think, was when we were on our way home from leaving Austin, back driving into Hutto, which, if y'all don't know, check out Hutto, Texas. They are known for their hippos.
Hashtag Hutto Hippos,
Hutto
baby.
Hippos. It was great. It was funny.
Support the hippos.
But Miriam was like, "I want tacos, and if you see a drive-through taco place, stop and get it." And I was like, "We haven't seen a drive-through taco place the entire time. Not 2 minutes later." I shit you not 2 minutes later, I see one, and I just whip the rental into it.
We had a caddy rental, and it was a great rental.
Drive.
That front wheel drive, it was alright. I mean, the brakes could have done use some work, but that's another story as well.
The seats were alright.
It's okay, but this man in this caddy, it's a luxury vehicle. We almost hit 2 wheels so we can get into this drive-through taco joint.
But we get into the drive-through taco joint. We get the Asano tacos, and man, were they so bomb. Just like out of the drive-thru, wanted a taco snack, hadn't seen a drive-thru taco joint, and then this one just happens upon us. Miriam, I guess, manifested it with her Miriam manifestation powers.
Miriam magic, that's what that was.
Big facts.
Good Lord.
And yeah, it was great.
And not even that, we were about to eat in like not even an hour after that, because we were headed back into Austin.
Yeah, we were heading back to eat, but I mean, tacos.
But tacos.
And they were $1.
You're right. And that's the thing. Those prices for those tacos, they were banging. Like I said, Jay got 8 tacos one day. He paid $20 for the whole meal. And that was like his meal plus Miriam's meal plus drinks. And
it was
like
great.
The fact that we were like,
and also like, let's talk about like the Mexican Coke.
If you haven't had Mexican Coca-Cola, you're missing out. Only because cane sugar.
Real cane sugar, man.
Real cane
Authentic
sugar.
Cane sugar
Makes that thing sweet, and it makes it delicious.
It pops. It slaps so
Mexican
hard.
Coke sponsor us. I'm looking for all the sponsors in all the world.
I swear.
But other than that, like, those were our favorite parts of the trip. We also wanted to shout out Texas Toy Museum of Dallas.
Yes.
That's hilarious. We went to Austin. Texas Toy Museum of Austin,
Texas.
Yes, they had an amazing toy museum. It was my
really cool.
dream museum, essentially.
They had everything back from like original Fisher Price toys to like the most advanced GI Joe sets to every kind of
Every toy
Star
you
Wars
could
or Star
think of.
Trek buildable that is actually highly valuable now if you have all the pieces to it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was so cool, and the coolest thing about it. It was this one guy's whole collection.
Yeah, it is, and he has more than one
Location.
museum.
He had two locations.
He had two
also.
locations. He was no older than probably late 30s, early 40s. He's been collecting since he was about 9, but that museum was filled to the brim with toys. I kid you not.
And then you could get a drink from him. Like, you could buy a craft beer that was local from the guy and then go play video games full price.
For free.
Like, the
games were included in your price of admission.
And
like,
they had a full arcade games. They had a PlayStation 4. They had
Xbox
original Oregon Trail, like, on the PC unit. It was some awesome stuff.
But like I said, shout out to Texas Toy Museum in Austin. If you are in Austin at any time, visit them.
100% check it out.
On South Congress and East 6th Street. They
Ooh.
check them out. I can't believe I remember that address either,
Hey,
but
that was nice.
it was worth it.
It was.
But other than that,
What
we
was
also
it, $12?
No, that was the Weird Museum.
That was the weird.
That was
museum.
the Weird Museum. The Austin Museum, it was either you buy the drink plus the price of admission. I think it was like $9 actually.
Yeah, I mean,
it was not. Yeah, it was $9, and then
$9.
the drink. If you got a drink, then you got the video games.
Right.
But like I said, it was around $9 to $10, and you get this museum experience, free arcade games, and a drink, and he has all this nostalgia that you can't even
And I
think
think the
of.
coolest part about it was we just kind of stumbled upon it. We didn't
We
look for this thing at all.
randomly, literally,
we
we
pulled
were
this
just
right where we pulled up.
going down South Congress and East 6th Street, and Jay found a parking spot. We parked. I looked up and I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was just it said
perfectly
Texas
placed for your birthday.
Toy Museum. Best birthday gift? Well, not the best, but like it was still
that was
a dank birthday gift.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
That was a
that was
pleasant
probably one of the most
surprise.
pleasant surprises that we found on that trip. Also, shout out to Bishop Cidercade. We also went there on one of our last days of the trip.
Yeah.
It was Dave and Buster's before Dave and Buster's could even think about being born. Only because
they had
every imaginable arcade game from 1971 to 1993.
Yo, real deal. This place reminded me of Pizza Planet.
Oh, it did. That's the thing. And
Like it could have been if Pizza Planet was real, like, and they could have like gotten the branding from Disney. They really could have gotten.
I feel like Disney could have given them that branding because, like,
I mean, they had like the personal sized pizza joint attached to the cider.
but like the
craft
actual
place.
cider craft place looked like the center of Pizza Planet, real life. Like
It
they had the cylindrical shape with like the bartenders around
and the skylight.
and the skylight. And the thing is, you had all these games. You had like
The nostalgia games and new games.
Pac-Man, like it was a Pac-Man 4-player game. You had Frogger. You had the basketball game that you see at like Chuck
The
E.
original
Cheese.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, which if you've never played that
It's
arcade
probably one
game,
of the toughest arcade games of all
but
time.
it's so much fun.
It is, and I think they're remastering it for PlayStation.
Oh, that'd be dope.
And I think they are. And I think it's like it's still a side swipe game, but it's like it's gonna be
a
like
side scroller.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's still
cool.
gonna be like remastered and made for like 2021.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting with some new technology.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be dope. But other than like, dude, y'all just need to visit Austin for the experience. They say keep Austin weird. It's definitely a weird place to go to.
Yes.
We saw all the weird. I mean, even the Museum of Weird. That was,
We saw a lot of weird stuff. We saw a lot of blerdy stuff. We saw some. The cool part about the Museum of the Weird was like it had a bunch of different kinds of weird stuff. Like it had exhibits from like Barnum and Bailey and like all of those kinds of weird things. But it also had the history of horror film, which was like super cool.
Yeah. And we got a
And
bunch
then
of
the
pictures.
front-
We'll show some pictures on our Instagram at Blerd Survival Guide.
Yeah, check us out.
Check us out, definitely. Because we're getting a little short on time, unfortunately. We can explain all of this more. If you want to hear more about it, we can definitely talk about it next week, too. Just let us know. Also, everything about Austin was awesome.
Man, solid. Like I said, solid 9 out of 10 trip.
Oh, yeah.
Austin's a great city. Very few complaints in terms of like how easy it is to navigate.
In terms of Austin.
How convenient it is to get around if you're walking. 10 out of 10 recommended in that way. But you know that. I think the shortcoming was, you know, the people experiencing homelessness. Like that was like the hard part for me.
Yeah,
and it was shocking to be fair.
And it was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot.
But Otherwise, check out Austin. We would love to hear about it. If you want some more advice, please check us out on our Instagram page, and we'll be happy to interact with y'all there.
Yes, and what we're going to do now is, like we always do, we're going to take a short break. You're going to hear a word from our sponsors.
Anchor.
And yes, Anchor, please give us more money. I love you. But like I said, you're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and we will be back with the weekly blurb. And check us later, guys. We will see you soon.
Welcome back.
You know, guys, what time it is. It's time for the...
It's the blurb. It's the weekly blurb.
It's the weekly blurb with
Coming at
Jay
you
and
live.
Jeremy. Jay, what you got for us? And go.
Oh, Jeremy, I think my weekly blurb has to be about the one movie that we watched on a whim in Austin.
Which one is that?
It was Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh my God, that movie.
Boy, that movie...
Ooh.
That movie hit all the notches that I needed it to hit for me for the MonsterVerse.
God, it was.
I mean, if you haven't watched it, and I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers on this one, I highly encourage y'all to watch it. If you are into like nature movies and the impact that the human influence has on nature, watch this movie. If you like epic fights, watch this movie. If you want to make fun of Millie Bobby Brown, watch this movie. If you want to enjoy a visually stunning and somewhat comical reprise of the most epic battle in the MonsterVerse, watch this movie. What we did when we first started the movie was we went around, we were like, who is going to win? Is it going to be Godzilla or is it going to be Kong? So we all went over our decisions, and I'm not going to reveal anything like too spoilery.
But Jeremy won.
But Jeremy was right. And you know, Jeremy watches a lot of theory, and Jeremy watches a lot of YouTube, and like he gets his information like before he makes his decisions.
See, it's not that I watch the theories for like information before I watch movies. I watch a lot of, I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of TVs. I have a job that gives me the allocation to do these things, so that I've gotten to a point in my life where I can watch a lot of TV episodes. When they start, it's just like, all right, it's going to be that kind of show. I can watch movies and be like, oh, it's going to be this kind of movie.
That's fair, and you do that, and I'm not saying that doesn't feed into your knowledge, because it certainly does, and your ability to predict a film. Fine. Okay. But Jeremy was right, and it does not disappoint that Jeremy was right. Let's just go ahead and say that.
It doesn't.
I mean, you really get to... They really break it down a whole lot more than, in the classic Godzilla versus Kong story.
Fight me. No, fight me.
Exactly. Punch. I mean, they really go into like some kind of scientific detail that is enough for the layperson to understand, but also keep you interested in what's happening throughout the battle sequences and the really massive undertakings that each country is like, or major corporation trying to do to keep alive in the middle of these two monstrous beings attacking each other. It really does. I give it a solid 8 out of 10 on the monster movie scale. I think there are some better monster movies out there, i.e. Alien versus Predator. Like, there's different things out there that are a lot better. But I fully enjoyed this film for what it was, and for what they tried to honor with it, like within the MonsterVerse and across the different MonsterVerse movies.
I had to keep quiet because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody either. But man, that movie.
Watch the trailer. If you don't like the trailer, then
the trailer I
tell you to like look further, like really look further. My reactions to it. It's a fine film. It's a lot of fun. You can make fun of Millie Bobby Brown, so go ahead and do that.
I guess to fill up the rest of Jay's time, that was my first of the MonsterVerse, the Legendary. That's the production company. The rest of the that was the first of the Legendary MonsterVerse movies that I saw, and thoroughly impressed, I am going to go back and watch the previous 3 movies, Godzilla King of Monsters, and Kong Skull Island. Mm-hmm. I will be watching those within this week because, dear Lord, that movie...
It's impressive.
Wow.
And why the reason I think it's the most impressive is because Miriam and you both were like very hesitant at first to watch it, and then by the end of it, you're like, Jay, you were right, good movie, thank you.
Please.
I'm like, yes, I predicted that you would enjoy this film at least,
and you were right. Now, on to future movies of Warner Brothers endeavors. We just felt like we wanted to keep the theme of Warner Brothers this week.
Sure.
We, as a group, Jay, Miriam, and I watched the trailer for Space Jam: A New Legacy that came out last Friday.
Starring the Looney Tunes and one LeBron King James.
And good Lord, in the morning, the nostalgia hit me all up and down everywhere. That was a fantastic trailer. I had my doubts about what the movie was going to be about because, of course, Space Jam raised us as a father figure.
I mean, the impact of this movie is unquestionable.
Oh, yeah.
From the soundtrack to the crossover animation to the live action with the animated, like, it broke a lot of boundaries and it set
Danny
a lot
DeVito
of
was in the
molds.
OG movie, you know.
I'm saying.
All of those things that checked out. It's going to be. I think, and this is my prediction for the Space Jam: New Legacy. It's going to be a good movie. It's gonna hit you in the feels. It's going to be a good father-son. I need to reconnect with my son kind of flick. Also, we get Looney Tunes. They're going to, and I'm happy that Warner Brothers and just movies and technology has gone to that point where we are able to utilize the technology that we have in terms of CGI and animation. And you see LeBron, and this is all in the trailer, no spoilers, because, I mean, the movie hadn't even come out yet. You see LeBron dive into the world. He turns into a full cartoon. He has done voice acting work before.
Yes.
He was on, a lot of you don't like Teen Titans Go. I'm a fan of it. He was on an episode of Teen Titans Go. And I mean,
it's funny.
Yeah, he was an exaggerated version of himself on there, and he was hilarious. I think he's going to bring that to this movie. He's also, and I feel like they made a cartoon version of himself in Looney Tune form on the trailer. You see, they reanimate him back to real life, but they also reanimate the Looney Tunes to look realistic.
The CGI, like, more realistic imaging of him.
Like, you see, like, the fur on, like, Bugs and Lola. You see, like, Daffy. You see, I mean, Granny. Like, she was at the end of the trailer. She's hilarious. Literally just got her senior discount 30% off. That was dope. It's going to have the hilarity that you've heard from old Looney Tunes reruns, because, you know, we all weren't born when those OG Looney Tunes came out.
No, but you know you watched them.
You know you watched them.
If you were raised right.
You're right. But also, it's just going to be an overall good film. We're also going to see a bunch of just Warner Brothers properties in the background.
No doubt.
And I mean,
like,
you saw, like, I saw Fred Flintstone. You saw the Game of Thrones world. I mean, like I said, and like when all the cartoons and everything that Warner Brothers owns just like starts running toward the main court that the game's going to be on, you see like Fred Flintstone, you hear the Yabba Dabba Doo come out of nowhere, you see Yogi Bear running, you see the Iron Giant running over everybody.
You know what I didn't expect from it though?
What?
Don Cheadle.
That is true. And I mean,
Don Cheadle's going to play a great villain.
I've
seen him play a great villain when he plays the the college TV spoof of Captain Planet. Don Cheadle turns him into a villain, and he plays. So he's going to play a good villain. I'm really excited to see him as a villain.
I feel like it's one of those villains that's like, I know how to manipulate. And I'm gonna make you do what I want.
He's gonna be evil genius.
And I mean, it's definitely in the internet world because of the 21st century. But I mean, it's him basically. I am the internet, and you will do what I say because I have your son captured.
I mean,
it's gonna be dope, and like, it's like I said, the whole movie is. I have hope for it. It's gonna be awesome. Last little bit. Lola Bunny is played by Zendaya. That's going to be fucking awesome.
And anybody that's talking mess about the new Lola Bunny design, I need y'all to check your privilege and check your masculinity, because it's still fine. Like, my gosh, It's
Also,
Lola Bunny.
y'all just a bunch of furries that just want to get your rocks off. That's all that is.
I mean,
You nasty.
I'm not here to yuck anybody's
But I ain't judging
yum,
nobody.
But like, really, if you're mad at the movie because it doesn't sexualize a bunny, then you need to grow up.
I would say the Space Jam was a product of its time. The original. I mean, it was in the 90s. It's a product of its time. They're gonna make the female bunny look like
I mean,
how she looked.
That was the model for the age. I'm not saying it was the best thing for everybody, and I'm not saying that it was the worst thing for everybody. But in reality,
a lot of people's awakenings. I can tell you that.
I mean, I'm saying.
I'm gonna just cut everything off right there. We're out of time. I hate that we are out of time, but we will see you guys next week. Follow us on all of our outlets on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. On Instagram, we are at Blerd Survival Guide. Facebook, Blerd Survival Guide. Twitter, at Blerd Guide. And email us if you have any questions, tips, if you want to hear something next week or any of our following episodes, blerdsurvivalguide@gmail.com. And anything else you want to add?
Keep surviving, everybody.
Keep surviving, everybody. Listen to the theme song.
Guys
Good
in the
night.
mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.